Diego Maradona, arguably the greatest footballer of all time, has died. Why was he such a captivating figure? What is the nature of footballing genius? How do we collectively grieve and understand the death of a man who provoked so many opposing feelings, such strength and intensity of national pride in his native Argentina, loathing in the UK in the complex mid-80s where England was at war with Argentina, where famously in the 1986 World Cup, Diego Maradona reached heights of hitherto unseen genius and in fact committed the most famous foul in football history. How do we understand and review the life of such an unparalleled man?
Maradona just walked away from Hoddle then. Valdano, out and they're appealing for offside. The ball came back off the foot of Steve Hodge, and Maradona gives Argentina the lead.
When I first heard about the death of Diego Maradona 10 minutes ago, it's like one of those moments, that's difficult to fully comprehend. He was an athlete who defined his sport, who had a level of skill previously unseen, a sport in anathema. Even his physical appearance, short, squat, low centre of gravity, incredible close control, a career of unbridled controversy, of unparalleled controversy, born in actual legit Latin American poverty from nothing, superstardom. Maradona is an icon in the truest sense in that he transcended his sport. Even if you've never watched a minute of football in your life, you know who Diego Maradona is, and you may not know why you know who Diego Maradona is. Well, here's why.
Ahí lo tiene Maradona, lo marcan dos, pisa la pelota Maradona, arranca por la derecha el genio del fútbol mundial, y es el tercero a tocar para Borruchaga siempre Maradona, genio, 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 ta, 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 ¡gol!
Often I think when someone has that kind of sublime ability, they make you feel when you watch them perform or sing, or in the case of the great Maradona, play football, how can that happen? Isn't that what is essentially meant by genius? That something happens that doesn't even make sense. To see Terry Fenwick floundering, to see Peter Shilton fumbling, to see that ball go in that net in that sepia-coloured, vibrant footage from 1986. How did a human being, someone basically the same as you or I, do that? How did they aspire to that height? You sort of feel like that is God coming out of that person. He called it the hand of God, and it was God that was bursting forth from him when he had the ball at his feet. And in Maradona, you see the mythic cost of that kind of greatness, a person that seemed to struggle. Maradona is a person who I've seen on camera in rage, screaming down the barrel of a lens. Maradona is a man I've seen weeping. How many human beings have you experienced that range of emotion from? There's not that many people that achieve that kind of greatness. In rock and roll terms, we're talking about Elvis Presley. We're talking about like a level of talent, a level of success, a World Cup winning star that in the case of his career at Napoli galvanised and totally changed the fortunes of a club that up until that point was feeling the weary bedragglement of feeling put down on a slight national level. He revitalised a whole, and if you know a little bit about Italian politics, sort of a nation in terms of Napoli. When someone like this is lost, I suppose I always feel, wow, Maradona was not permanent. Maradona was not a thing that was always going to be there. The emotions that he has caused, whether he's a hero to you or someone that like caused you pain on a football level, that will be etched in many, many people's hearts for generations. I get the idea intuitively and from the material I've watched about him that beyond the game, where he was a master, where he created poetry on the field, moments of true genius, once in a generation greatness, if that. Off the field, Diego Maradona was obviously a person whose greatness tormented him. A drug addict, a person that dealt with a great deal of rage, a person that dealt with a great deal of suffering. And I suppose, yeah, like who the gods want to destroy, they first make mad with power. Maradona had limitless power between them white lines. I suppose in this time of iconoclasm, perhaps we should, certainly now that he has passed, remember, yes, the sadness and tragedy of Maradona, the win at all costs attitude of Maradona, but perhaps we should celebrate those moments of greatness that he alone gave us. A person from an impoverished, basically peasant background, attaining such heights through God-given talent, a talent that ultimately was too big for him to hold. Those of you that are more directly affected, people of Argentina or people of Naples that are feeling that pain, my commiserations to you and my love to you. We have lost a true great. This is what in the end happens to us all. Perhaps we must live as vividly and as beautifully as we can, try to nurture our own gifts and celebrate the gifts of others.